Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Thursday, September the 15th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am here to go over the MLB DFS slate. We have some prize picks and, of course, Boom Fantasy selections for you as well. Hopefully, we have everybody jump in with us here at our new 5 o'clock start time. We've been weighing out, trying to decide what time is the best to come to y'all so that it is the most convenient for everybody to check it out, get ready for their Major League Baseball slate. So let us know throughout the podcast if you can, if you prefer this later time, or if you'd rather have us go back to early afternoon. We are looking to please the majority here. So let us know for sure. But I really do appreciate you joining me. I know it's a NFL football night and a great game tonight, Chiefs and Chargers. That should be a really terrific game. We're going to have our NFL Thursday night podcast coming up at 6:50 p.m. Eastern. So a little bit after this one gets going and right before the Major League Baseball lock for DraftKings and Yahoo, which is at 7:20, and it is at 6:40 on Fanduel. So you have DraftKings and Yahoo with 5-game slate, Fanduel with 6. And we're going to be going over all 6 of those games here, breaking it down. We'll walk through each game, look at the normal stuff that we do, and then we'll get ready for a really good NFL podcast tonight. Crash and Steven will join me for that one at 6:50. So hopefully you're catching the double dip of Coach Talk tonight with this MLB and then our NFL podcast as well. So thank you again for tuning in today. A couple of things. Let me say hello to the people that have jumped in chat. Mr. Rodney Pollard, first one in today. So he wins the prize. Congratulations for being the first one in there. That is a massive pat on the back and a thank you very much, Mr. Pollard. Also, Payne, Feel the Pain is in there. Our man Payne Blank SM. And we've got King of All Trades, King of Smack. The Double Kings are in there. Nathan Feudy and JT has jumped in. So people will straggle in. I know we're going against some of our competition out there. And, you know, it's time to man up and for us to get out there when we have full lineups, full weather, all the information. We feel that we bring an edge and a difference to the entire industry of DFS, and that we want to share with you. So, all right, my friends, let's dive into this slate. The good thing is we shouldn't have any weather issues at all. There is a little bit of a chance of a shower in Minnesota, but I don't think that that's going to affect things. They'll probably play through it. I don't expect any delays. So we're not doing any fading of any of the teams or players or pitchers or anything of the sort. All right, let's take a look. Again, we're going to hit this early game, the 6:40 game. That is going to be on the Fanduel main slate. And it is the Philadelphia Phillies at the Miami Marlins. The total is 7.5 in the Dome in Miami, 3.92 implied for the Phils, 3.58 for the Marlins. It is Noah Syndergaard versus Pablo Lopez. So nice, interesting pitching matchup. Certainly would have been better maybe a year or two ago before Noah got hurt and had to come back. Lopez is tough, but not really the superstar that a lot of people were expecting him to be. He is a workhorse and he does eat innings, but certainly not, spectacular like a lot of people had thought. He still may have that in his career. He's a young pitcher, and we'll see where we go from there. I do like some of these Philly bats. Not really high on Lopez at the time. I'd specifically like to get to the lefties in Schwarber and Harper, if possible. They're expensive, though. I think Real Muto's a fine play for sure in the cleanup spot. And you can always go a little bit deeper there. The lineup right now is Schwarber, Segura, Harper, Romuto, Bohm, Stott, Marsh, Vierling, and Sosa. That is the confirmed lineup. For the Marlins, it's Birdie, Rojas, Cooper, Charles LeBlanc. So there's a guy for you that's batting cleanup, second base eligible, and interesting sort. Let's take a quick gander at him. He's got some pop for sure. Young and up and comer in the organization, and not a bad punt play if you're looking on that Fanduel lineup. And then it goes Blade, Stallings, De La Cruz, Groshans, and Diaz. So not a great lineup for the Marlins as normal. I'm not going to be going there. LeBlanc, if I'm going to punt, like I say, at a middle infield spot, he's worth a shot. But I prefer the Phillies bats here for sure. All right, let's go to the first game on the main slate everywhere for DraftKings and Yahoo, and also these games are on that FanDuel slate. And it's 7:20 rather than 7:05, so that's a little quirky today as well. The first game is the Pittsburgh Pirates and the New York Mets. Again, 7:20, 70 degrees in New York. A beautiful night for baseball. Slight breeze left to right at 8 miles an hour. 7.5 is the over-under in this game. 2.75 is all for the Pirates and 4.75 for the Mets. So big favoritism here for the Mets, as you would expect. JT Brubaker takes the bump for the Pirates, 7.8K, against Carlos Carrasco, 9.4K for the Mets. Two pitchers today I like, and one of them is Carrasco. They don't particularly fall in the value pitcher play, so it is two buy-up pitchers that I like today. But on a slate of this size, when you get into the 5 games, 4, 5, 6 game slates, it's a little bit easier, at least for me, to go to a pitcher and that I think is going to do well and really stick with them. So I think Carrasco is a good play because he's going against the Pirates. The Pirates are 27th in batting against right-handers at a crisp 223 average. And they are first in Major League Baseball in striking out in away games. So they really plummet on the road. And this, is really going to help Carrasco get, some more strikeouts on the board. 713 strikeouts. That's a lot of strikeouts for the Buccos. So I do think Carrasco's a terrific play here. I don't like any of the Pirates' bats. And for the Mets, you've got, some expensive guys with Nimmo at 4.9, Lindor 6.1, and McNeil at 4.4. Isn't too bad in the 3-hole. I think McNeil you can go to, but Alonso's 5.2, so a little more pricey there. The lineups are confirmed for the Pirates. It's Cruz, Reynolds, Castro, Gamble, Hayes, Mitchell, Chavez, Sawinski, and DeLay. For the Mets, it's Nimmo, Lindor, McNeil, Alonso, Vogelbach, Guillermo, Escobar, Naquin, all the way down in the 8-hole, and James McCann is doing the catching today. Let's take a look at pitching ownership, since Carrasco's one of my 2 recommended buy-up guys today. So let's see what we've got from that standpoint. So we don't want to go hugely chalky, but we also want to stay within reason, not like some of the absolute garbage pitchers that I rostered yesterday. I apologize for anybody that played any of my guys yesterday. Overall, they just absolutely sucked. I think yesterday was my worst MLB day as far as rostering players of the entire season thus far. That's pretty bad. So today is a huge revenge. I'm so ticked off. I've been working since last night to build these lineups, even though it's a small slate. And I know a lot of people are going to be jumping on NFL, but don't take baseball for granted. I'm telling you, I've said this on all the podcasts for the last week. The first 3 weeks of the NFL season have been some of my biggest wins in Major League Baseball. I think it's because 2 things. people aren't paying as much attention to baseball, so they're going to football. There's some overlay. You're not getting the focus on building the lineups. And second, there's a lot of NFL players that loaded up their accounts that are leaking over, a couple of fish swimming over in the pond here to baseball. So you're getting a little bit of fishy money in there. And that's always a good sign for those of us that are following baseball very closely. So today I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. All right, pitching ownership. Let's take a look on DraftKings first. You've got Lance McCullers right now projected 62%. And then my man Carrasco here, second at 48. Miles Mikolas at 40. Manaea at 15. Lynch at 11. Brubaker at 11. The rookie Dre Jameson, 5. Dylan Bundy, 3. And then almost non-existent Caprillion and Anderson at 1. So that's the full look on DraftKings. On Fanduel, we have that extra game. It does move things around a little bit from the projected ownership side. McCullers still leads the way, but much less on Fanduel than DraftKings. He's 39% projection. Cookie Carrasco here, 22%. Mikolas, 16. Pablo Lopez in that earlier game at 8.5. Syndergaard also in the earlier game at 5. And then the rest of the chumps here, 2% or lower for Lynch, Brubaker, Manaea, Bundy, Caprillion, and Anderson. So virtually unowned on those guys. On Yahoo, again, I love Yahoo. If you haven't given it a try, man, I'm telling you, there is a lot of money to be made on MLB Yahoo and really all the sports there. It's a different animal completely than DraftKings and FanDuel, but you really can get after it. We have almost a dead tie at top ownership here on Yahoo with McCullers and Carrasco both at 40%. Miles Mikolas 33% right behind them. This is where Sean Manaea gets a big jump. He's only $29 on Yahoo, and he's 22% projected ownership or 23% projected ownership right now. JT Brubaker all the way up to 16%. So there's a surprise against the Mets. And then the same 4 at the bottom, Bundy, Lynch, Caprillion, Anderson, 6% and below. So that doesn't scare me on the Carrasco ownership. I think that that's very fair. I think that if you play multiple lineups, he should be in a lot of your lineups, a higher percentage than I think that he's even owned. So I would go over on him a little bit. And I really think he's rounding into shape. We know that he was out for a while on the IL. He missed from August 15th until September 4th. Came back against Washington. Didn't pitch that great, but, was just getting back in, getting stretched out a little bit. And so we'll give him a pass on that one. But the last game on September 10th, he did go 6 full innings, 43 FanDuel points, 6 Ks, only 4 hits against the Marlins. And, the other thing that is really strong with him is just his performance against Pittsburgh, I think is going to be spectacular. The great part about it is Pittsburgh has not seen him this season. I think that's an advantage for him. It's going to take a couple times through the order for them, I think, to get a feel for what Carrasco's bringing. He can still bring the heat, and I think that just a great spot for him. So, again, he is definitely my play in this game without question. Quick look into good. We have a bunch of people jumping in. I'm really proud of that. Thank you. What's up, Andros Benjamin, RJ? Let's go fishing. You're right, my man. Vanessa Melee, great to have you in here. I think you're new to the group, I believe, and really want to welcome you and hope you're going to be back for all our podcasts. Everybody else chatting a little bit, so it's very good to see. Let's keep growing this audience. If you're watching right now on YouTube, this is a perfect opportunity. Hit the thumbs up, the subscribe button, and the little alert in the upper corner. That lets you know when any of our podcasts post. And we're going 7 live podcasts per week in baseball, 2 in the NFL on Thursdays, which we're doing tonight at 6:50. And then our big Sunday show we do Saturday night to give everybody a chance to get those lineups together. We do that 8 p.m. Eastern every Saturday night for the big Sunday slate. First time watching for Corey Miller. Welcome, Corey. Awesome to have you with us. I hope you stay with us and get some big winners tonight for sure. Also, if you're watching on live on Twitter, please like and retweet. Let's get the word out there to some folks. If you want to join us at Coach Talk, go to dfscoachtalk.com. You can sign up for a multitude of our memberships there. Toward the weekend here, like today's the perfect day to do our 5-day membership. This way you get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So you get all of the NFL that we have to offer. And whenever you get a membership here at Coach Talk, we don't nickel and dime our people. If you join, you're part of the family. You get everything that we have. That's all of our MLB, NFL, MMA, NASCAR, all of the main sports we're going to bring forward to you. So this is a great day to do it, to jump in. We give full lineups out for Fanduel and for Yahoo, and then a core 7 for single entry and GPP lineups for DraftKings. So great time to come aboard here at Coach Talk. All right, we're going to give away 2 tickets today to the Millie Maker. If your name gets chosen on the randomizer here, all you have to do is jump on Twitter. We're at DFS Coach Talk, and then just shoot us a quick DM. Say, my name is Jim Smith. My PayPal email is jimsmith@gmail.com. That's it. Give us that information. We'll shoot the money over to you. You can get in that DK Millie Maker. And our goal is to give away the cash for somebody to get in that normally wouldn't, and they take it down. That would be absolutely phenomenal. And if you want to get some NFL insight into that Millie Maker, if you win a ticket, you come join us here at Coach Talk, because we have 2 studs, with being Crash Davis and Stephen Miller, that really know their NFL stuff for sure. DePrince, how you doing, man? Sorry about the shitty lineup yesterday. I got to say it as it is. But you know what? We have lots of winners. We've been red hot. Yesterday was a nightmare. And I know DePrince was feeling it with me. We were both whining a little bit in Discord. Not that he was whining, I was. But today's the bounce back. I'm pissed. I'm ready to get after it. And I love this card. Even though it's a smaller card, I think there's some just really, really strong plays here. So love the Corey Miller's with us. Bev's in. Great to have you back in here, Bev. And Boy from Cali. All right, man. A little late to the dance today, but that's okay. We know that you're filling lineups out and getting everything ready to go. Boy from Cali's been sending me some invites. I've been jumping in a few contests with some of the boys. It's been a lot of fun. So yesterday I was the fish. Today, I'm ready to do the fishing. So let's go, my friend. The challenge, the gauntlet is dropped. I'm ready to go after you. By the way, if you played, I gave out a couple of bonus lineups to our members, Yahoo all day and an early DraftKings. They're both killing it right now. Knock on wood. I have to find wood here. We have players left, but we had my first 3 guys I rostered all homered. So when that happens, you're like, okay, let's keep this train moving. And so hopefully we've got a bunch of main slate winners, and then we can bumper them up. And we'll do that very often, is we'll throw some bonus lineups out there. Our pros here at Coach Talk, Crash, Steven, Kyle, and Deb, and myself, we'll throw some bonus lineups out there, specifically in baseball, football, and Kyle's new to the team. He is going to be our hockey expert. He's going to kill it. We have not done hockey before, so this is going to be new for us this year. NHL is going to be a big part of our mix, but he's awesome in all areas. All right, let's give away that first ticket. I'm going to hit the randomizer. If you're in the chat right now and you haven't said anything yet, I do the randomizer on the people that have commented in live chat. So just say hello, or if you want to just type in 2 letters, HI, that works. And so you got a second to do that before I hit the button. And then we are going to give away that first ticket. And don't forget, we've had some unclaimed tickets. If you win at DFS Coach Talk, shoot us the info so we can send that to you and you can get into the contest. All right, here we go. The button has been pushed. And the winner of the first ticket is Nathan Feudy. I believe Nathan's won before, so he's a lucky guy. Nathan Feudy, you've won the first ticket here, my friend. And shoot us that over and we'll get it to you and you can get your lineup in there early. Rose Miller, oh man, you just missed the first drawing, but I just saw you pop in there. And Fear Money Entertainment LLC jumped in. You'll be in there for the second ticket drawing, though, for sure. All right, let's get back to breaking down this slate and just killing it tonight. All right, we go to the Oakland Athletics and Houston Astros at 7:20. It is played in the little bandbox dome there down in Houston. By the way, they're third most home runs in baseball hit in that stadium this year. Number one, who knows what number one is? We'll make a little, let's see who can post it in chat first. Where have the most home runs been hit in Major League Baseball? Which stadium is given up the most? Let's see. Who's going to hit this first little trivia buzzer quiz? Most home runs park that's yielded. No, DePrince, they're second. It is not Coors. Houston's third. Colorado second. Who's going to win? Anybody know the ballpark that's given up the most home runs? Yes, boy from Cali is the winner of, and a handshake, pat on the back, and a very well done, sir. That is correct. So something to keep in mind. A lot of people just automatically think it's Coors, and that's usually people's first guess, but it is Cincy, and Houston's not that far behind. I'm telling you, that park gives up homers. It is 8 total, 2.77 implied for the Athletics, 5.23 for the Astros. Looks like a very popular stack team today. It is James Caprillion, 6.3K. We know he's trotted on to the mound with a gas can a lot this year. Lance McCullers, 9.7K. Chalky, does he deserve to be chalky? That'll be the question. We have confirmed lineups, both sides. A's lineup is Kemp, Manchin, Murphy, Machine, I should say. It's pronounced Machine, which doesn't make any sense, but it is. It's Kemp, Machine, Murphy, Brown, Laureano, Vogt, Garcia, Thomas, and Allen. Not exactly a terrifying lineup by any stretch. Astros a little bit more formidable. Interesting, they have Jeremy Pena leading off tonight with Aldemez Diaz in the lineup batting second. Alvarez, Bregman, Tucker, Gurriel, Mancini, Vasquez, and McCormick round out the entire group of Astros. Yes, McCullers is my other pitcher. So yes, people are going to say, Coach, you're never this chalky. Well, you know what? They're not dead chalk. Maybe McCullers is dead cinch chalk, but I love McCullers and Carrasco are my two go-to guys. Let's retake a look at that. Make sure that I'm not over. Now, 62% for McCullers is ridiculous, but I don't want to catch up to the points. Oakland's lineup stinks. His strikeout percentage is terrific. McCullers is on a roll and he's pitching well. He came back from the DL and they've ramped him up beautifully. He pitched 7 innings, only 4 hits in the last outing against the Angels. Prior to that, so he had 43 Fanduel points, 38, 24, 21. So he's ramped up very nicely. I think he can go 7-8 innings here, and I have him at 7 or 8 strikeouts as well. And I don't fear this Oakland lineup. I know they scored a few runs lately, but certainly I think that he will hold them down. Oakland is tied for dead last in Major League Baseball versus right-handers, batting a ridiculous 216. 216, almost the Mendoza line for an entire team. You very rarely had a player in a lineup that would be that low, let alone a team. So I just think McCullers, great spot, home game. The A's are pretty pathetic. I think he deserves to be owned as much as he is. And, sometimes you have to eat some of the chalk. I'll have some difference in hitting and some different spots we can go to there. But for the pitching, I just think that it's too difficult to get away from McCullers. And I also really like Carrasco today. So back to the ownership piece. I want to just take another look at that because if you want to get different, there are a few places you can go. So, after McCullers and Carrasco, if you want to go somewhere different, your next options, again, are, as far as ownership goes, are Mikolas, Manaea, Lynch, and Brubaker. I mean, see, I just don't like the fall off. On Fanduel, you have Lopez and Syndergaard in the mix. But again, neither one of them, I think, is really in that great of a spot compared to McCullers and Carrasco. 39% for McCullers, 21 on for Carrasco is not ridiculous. And on Yahoo, they're both 55 and 50% owned. So that does sting a little bit, but you can get different with some hitting or with the stacks. The stacks aren't as lopsided as the pitching. So I don't know if you want to get too cute on the pitching. It can sting you if you do. But if you feel like one of those other guys are going to step up, you're going to get some low ownership on several of them. Quick check here. Let's see. What else do we have in here? Some people talk a little bit. Nobody else new in there, but we do have some. Fenway's given up quite a few, but they're not in the top 3. All right. Back to the breakdown of this game. So I like McCullers, no Oakland bats at all. As far as a stack goes, Houston is going to be pretty popular with that lineup that we mentioned. Let's go ahead and break down the stacks a little bit here because Houston is not my stack today. Not that I like Caprillion at all. I think he's awful. And I just want to be a little bit different in this area. And I think this is the spot that allows me to get a little bit different. So the ownership stack right now, the way it looks is San Diego, number 1 at about 18%. Kansas City coming in at 17% against Bundy. Then you have 15% Houston, 14% Minnesota, 13% St. Louis, 9% Arizona, 7% the Mets, and then Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and Oakland at the bottom. So that's why I'm saying I'm not concerned about going McCullers and Carrasco because you don't have a Coors Field. You don't have a win game in Wrigley or, a spot where you just can't get away from guys. I mean, you can fade any of those stacks and not be concerned about it. Even if you look at the top stack percentage for being the top stack, what we're looking at as potential, you've got San Diego at 20, St. Louis at 15, Houston 14, 13 for Minnesota, 10 for the Mets, 8.5 for Kansas City. So it's all over the board. That's my point, is you really can be different if you stack or if you're going with some one-offs. Same situation on FanDuel. There's nobody that's just diving out from the ownership share. Nobody even over 20%. Houston at 19, San Diego 15, St. Louis 13, Minnesota 13, and then a whole bunch of teams 6, 7, 8, all the way down to the bottom where almost no ownership for the Pirates, Reds, or A's. But everybody else in play, and then we'll finish it out on Yahoo. Same scenario. San Diego number 1 again, but only 23%, 21 for Houston, 12 for the Mets, 11 for Minnesota, 11 for St. Louis. So you don't have to panic on being so chalky that you're not going to have some difference if you go with those top pitchers that we're recommending. So is Houston one of my top stack teams? No. Would I like to get a one-off or 2 guys from there? Absolutely. Sort of like Kyle Tucker today. Not real thrilled about paying $5.5K, but I do like him for the left side against Caprillion. You know, I'm a monster Jordan Alvarez fan, but he's 6'2", and the only homer he's hit in a long time, I did have him the other day, but that's the only homer he's hit in a while. So don't really want to spend up for him, but you can get some good one-offs here. If you are going to commit to the middle of that lineup, you're going to be committing a lot of salary. Caprillion stinks. The bullpen stinks for Oakland. So I can see why you'd want to go that route. I mean, Pena up top, Diaz in the 2-hole makes it very stackable. You could even go wraparound. I think Vasquez at catcher isn't a bad option, and McCormick down at the bottom. Again, in that ballpark, those guys all have pop and could hit one out. All right, 3 games left. 7:40 as well. We've got the Kansas City Royals and the Minnesota Twins. It is 81 degrees in Minnesota. What is going on? Why is it 81 degrees in Minnesota? But it is. And right to left wind at 10 miles an hour should not affect things much. 8.5's the total, 3.71 implied for the Royals, 4.79 for the Twins, who, as I mentioned, are getting some ownership in the stacks for sure. Disco Daniel Lynch, the lefty, 6.7K against Dylan Bundy, who's getting stacked against a lot here, 7.1K. A lot of potential in these lineups. I don't like either pitcher. I don't see how you could play either pitcher, to be honest with you. They are getting some ownership, though. So, you know, you can go any which way. Both teams very hard to predict at this point. Kansas City has some good young hitting, but it has not been super sharp lately by any stretch. And we know Minnesota is popular stack-wise. I think a lot of people are going that route. And I understand that Lynch is absolutely awful. And the right-handers that are stacked up top here for Minnesota are very tempting and very cheap. That's where you can really save some salary if you want to buy up for the Cardinals or some of these other expensive stacks. The Twins lineup is confirmed: Garlick, Correa, Miranda, Urshela, Sanchez, Celestino, Gordon, Palacios, and Cave. So not a bad lineup. You know, you got pop throughout that. Royals, again, pretty solid up top. Gets a little thin at the bottom. Melendez, Witt, Perez, Pasquantino, who's only 2.2K still. Very tempting in the cleanup spot. Massey, Taylor, Prado, Isbell, and Lopez. So both sides can be stacked. They're both super cheap. I'm not going to go that route. I don't want to put my chips in the middle all in for Royals and Twins bats, even though these pitchers are awful. I do want some exposure, though, and I can get some cheap Pasquantino if I want to spend up a catcher or Perez. I think it's a great play. Melendez and Witt at the top of that Royals lineup are good too. 4, 8, and 5, 6 is a commitment, though. Where you can get cheap, I don't want Kyle Garlick. He's in my Lars Nootbaar status right now. He just doesn't hit. I don't like him. Correa, 5K, maybe. Miranda, I play a lot at 3-3. He's starting to come down to earth a little bit. Urshela, you know, third baseman at 2K, that's 2.8K, that's bad in cleanup, is never a bad option. And then bottom of the lineup, not as interested there. So one-offs for me, but it will not be a key game. All right, 5 minutes later, Cincinnati Reds versus the St. Louis Cardinals. 80 degrees in St. Louis, wind blowing in from right at 5 to 6 miles an hour. That's not really a wind, more of a breeze. Total is 8, only 2.83 implied for the Reds, 5.17 for the Cardinals. You've got Chase Anderson, 5.3K, stinks, and Miles Mikolas at 9K. Again, very popular today, but he is my fade pitcher. I don't like the Reds. I don't like their lineup very much, but the top of their lineup has been hitting better. I'm just not feeling the Mikolas love here. And I know he's super popular. People are all over him, but he hasn't been great. I mean, the last outing he pitched against the Pirates, which should be, you know, a walk in the park, and he gave up 8 hits and 4 earned, only lasted 5 innings. And then he pitched against these Reds on August 29th, and got smoked 4 1/3, only lasted 80 pitches, gave up 4 earned runs. So not sharp there. So that's 2 of his last 3 outings really bad. And it's Pirates and Reds that he was facing. He's had a few other games where he got blown up. The Cubs hit him. He was a -16 at Colorado. So I guess we can give him a pass because it's Coors, but 10 earned runs, yeah, that'll affect the ERA a little bit. So my point being is he hasn't been a dominant pitcher, and he's not a big strikeout guy. He had a decent strikeout game the last game against Pittsburgh, but that was an aberration. I mean, he struck out 8, which is surprising, but he got hit. But before that, why? This is what I don't get. Listen to his strikeouts: 3, 3, 3, 4, 6, 2, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4. I mean, that's awful. I mean, if you're going to spend up for a pitcher, I just don't, the ceiling is just not big enough for me. He's not pitching well of late. This team in particular has hit him before. So for that reason, Mikolas is my fade pitcher. Pricing, I want to give you a little bit of pricing clue. So just to give you in perspective here. So I like McCullers, 9,700 on DraftKings, 99 on Fanduel, 45 on Yahoo. My second pitcher is Carrasco, 9,400, 9,000 flat, and 42 on Yahoo. Not bad at all. Mikolas is right there with these guys, 9,000 on DraftKings, 9,200 on Fanduel, and 38 on Yahoo. So that is where I will not have any exposure, where I think a lot of people's, the multi lineup people will have a good chunk of him in there. And I think a lot of people, even hand building, will have quite a few players quite a few bit of ownership for Mikolas. As far as the hitting goes, St. Louis is one of my 2 favorite stacks. I think you just got to try to grab as many Cardinals as you can. I mean, this Chase Anderson is bad. The Cardinals are due for one of those, double-digit run games, but they're expensive. That's where you have to, get a little bit creative. Donovan up top, these are confirmed lineups. He's only 3-3, so that's a good place to start. This is where it gets tough. Edman at 5-4, I pass. Why is he that expensive? He hasn't hit. But this is, you want to go Goldschmidt or Arenado, 6'3" and 5'9". It's so hard to get both, especially if you're paying up for 2 pitchers like I am. So I'm going Arenado today. He is my HR call. He has absolutely smoked Anderson in the past. So I think he's an easy call for me as my HR call. I love him today. I'm hoping he goes double dong. His stats against Anderson, he's only got 8 hits out of 29 at bats, so he's seen him enough, but 5 of those are for extra base hits. 4 of them are ding dongs. 10 RBIs, couple of walks, a 1037 OPS, 724 slugging, 313 OBP, and that 276 average. So he'll pick his spots. I think he can really get after it today, and he's definitely going to be part of that Cardinals stack. I'm not against Pujols at 2.6. He's batting 5th. We know that he's been hitting the ball. And then you've got O'Neill, Burleson, Molina, and one of my arch nemesis, Lars Nootbaar. I don't like Lars Nootbaar. But anyway, I like the Cardinals stack. They're going to be owned for me, and I think they are an outstanding play. All right, 1 game left, and I want to wrap this up as quickly as we can because everybody's going to get ready for this Chiefs-Chargers game as well. And I really do appreciate everybody jumping in here. We have a pretty nice little group in here considering it is a football night. Let's see. We have somebody new in here. Seagull Merks. Seagull Merks, what is up, man? Thank you for joining us. Hope you're in here all the time with us. Love the fact that we have some new people. That is one of the cool things with going at this later 5 p.m. Eastern time is it does give some people an option that hadn't had a chance to jump in before. So welcome to the group. We have one more ticket to give away. We'll do that right after this last game that we break down and before we share our my prize picks and boom plays for you. I do want to thank our presenting sponsor, Boom Fantasy. We have a link right here in YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. We also have a link to go to Boom Fantasy on Twitter and our TikTok. Anywhere you can find Coach Talk, you can find Boom Fantasy. They are the really cool, up-and-coming, fantastic group, and I think that you're going to love their site and their app. You can play all kinds of different plays, matchups, long shot hits, and you can see right below, you can go 40x on a play. So really some good stuff for sure. All right, let's hit this last game, and then we'll get on down the road. It is the Padres and the D-backs. It's the only game that we don't have confirmed lineups. Let me update. Maybe nope, those are the only two without confirmed. But let's talk about this game. It is 9:40 in Arizona. I believe the dome's closed. I'll double check that. It is a 9 total, 5.03 implied for the Padres, 3.97 for the Diamondbacks. Sean Manaea, the lefty, 7.6K against rookie starter Dre Jameson, 4K, first major league appearance. Here's the thing with Mr. Dre Jameson. How about these numbers in AAA? No. He's 25 years old, and he's respected in their organization as a prospect, I guess. Not one of their top guys. They had called up Tommy Henry and Reen Nelson prior to him, but I guess they want to give him a look. But I don't see how you could be too excited. How about these numbers? AAA, this is in the majors. A 6.95 ERA, people. A whip just under 2, 109 strikeouts and 42 walks in 114 innings. That isn't going to cut it with the big boys. So, I know the PCL, the Pacific Coast League, it is a hitters league. I get that. But still, that is just, those numbers are not going to get it done. And if you look, he's given up a lot of homers. He walks a lot of people. So guess who my second, maybe my very favorite stack here, but one of my top two is the Padres. I don't know how deep this kid goes. I doubt he goes very deep. The bullpen hasn't exactly been on fire for the Diamondbacks. So you've got that first go through the Padres lineup where I think they can get to him right away. You're going to get some possible free passes. And believe me, this, it's not like the old days when a young pitcher came up and he's not scouted that well and the major league guys have to feel him out. They know he walks a lot of people, watched all the tapes on him. So he's, I think this is just a great spot for the Padres. Full fade of this young pitcher. So not like some of the young call-ups that we've been on lately. This is definitely a guy that I am going to completely avoid. All right, so the Padres stack, how is that going to fit into the mix here? You've got the more expensive guys. Soto 4.9, a sub 5K Soto, although he's not had the best year, and then a 5.3 Machado and a 4.4 Bell in the middle of that order. Not that expensive. It's doable. If Profar leads off, he's at 3.7. Cronenworth's 3.8. Kim 3.9, Myers 2.8, Grisham 2.4. So you've got value there. You can go 3, 4, 5 deep for the Padres. I'm probably only going to go 3. I like the 3-3-2 kind of builds lately. But Padres, Cardinals are my top 2 stacks. Padres a slight edge just because of this Jameson kid and their bullpen. On the other side, Sean Manaea, not a fade, not a play. I'm not a big Manaea guy, but the Diamondbacks have hit better of late. But I just don't have a feel on either side of that. So, if you're playing multiple lineups, I'd go sort of with the field on Manaea. But for me, in hand building, I'm going with 2-3 lineups. He's not going to quite make the cut for me. So the Diamondbacks have hit enough lately that I think that they can get to him a bit. But I can understand if you want to go that direction. So if I do have any Diamondbacks, it'd be a one-off of somebody, maybe a Stone Garrett real cheap at 2.4. He's got a ton of pop and he hits lefties better. So that would be another spot to go. All right. Let's see. Anybody else in here? Yes, I do agree with you, Corey. Manai has been poop. No doubt about it. Deborah Lutz is in. Deborah, she's in here just to tout her. She's the agent for Mr. Canna from the Mets, so I'm sure she's in here to get some Canna ownership going. I'm just messing with you, Deb. Great to have you in here with us. Oh, Romel H. I didn't see another new person in here. I don't believe we've seen you before. Welcome to the family. It's awesome to have you in there. All right, anybody that has not made a comment in chat, please do so. I'm going to spin the wheel here and get a final ticket for the Millie Maker. If you get your name called here, go to Twitter at DFS Coach Talk. Shoot us a quick DM. Let us know your PayPal email so that we can get you a winner, the ticket, so you can play it for Sunday. All right. Here we go. The wheel is spinning, and the winner is Vanessa Melee. Vanessa Melee, I believe. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. You are the winner. So at DFS Coach Talk, congratulations. We love that you joined us, and we love that you won. That's a great thing. So we are going to give away 3 more of these tickets at 6:50 in like 1 hour from right now on our NFL podcast with Josh Crash Davis and Stephen Miller Time, Mr. Stephen Miller Time as we call him. So if you missed out on winning a ticket here, certainly jump into the football podcast with us and take another crack at it. So, all right. Let me give you my prize picks and my Boom Fantasy picks of the day, and then we will be out of here. Prize picks play. I'm going to give you 3 of them. Miles Mikolas, under 33.5 fantasy score. That is my top play. I mentioned, everything, why I feel that way about Mikolas. Carlos Carrasco, over 36.5 fantasy score against the Pirates. I think he can get plenty enough strikeouts and stay in the game deep enough to get to that 36.5 number. And then a fantasy score over 7.5 for Mr. Nolan Arenado. I read you the BVP for him. I love that number for sure for Arenado. So those are 3 prize picks plays. We will be posting some plays also in our Discord for our members. And then a couple of Boom Fantasy plays as well. Let's click on that, and we'll give you 3 selections from there as well. The first one is Kyle Schwarber. This is the 640 game, over a half a run. Miles Mikolas, under 18.5 pitching outs. I don't think he lasts that long. I think that if we can get the under on outs for Mikolas, I think you're going to be in good shape there. And the last one, I like Lance McCullers Jr., under 1.5 earned runs. So those are my 3 Boom Fantasy plays of the day. And again, I want to thank them for being our presenting sponsor. So pitchers today, McCullers, Carrasco, Fade, Mikolas. I forgot to mention my BVP play. So those that stuck with me to the end get a little bonus here. BVP play of the day. Are you ready? Jonathan India is my BVP play of the day. He's only faced Miles Mikolas 11 times, but guess what? He's homered twice. He's got 2 homers, 3 ribbies. He's got a 1273 OPS against Mikolas, 909 slugging, 364 OBP, and that 364 average. So Jonathan India is my BVP. Nolan Arenado, my HR call. St. Louis and San Diego are the teams that I will be stacking. All right, my friends, that is it. Thank you so much again for joining in. Welcome to all the new folks. And join us back in an hour for some football. And then tomorrow, Crash and I will be on together to break down the huge Friday night MLB slate. So thanks so much for joining in. Have a great Thursday evening, and we'll be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in MLB DFS and Boom Fantasy.